Right, this engine before we start, we're going to need to remove carburetors at the back. We're going to need to remove spark plugs, spark plug leads, connection to the water system through the thermostat housing here, rocker assembly and such like. So we're going to have to start by draining the water. To remove the water out of the cooling system, so we've taken the radiator cap off. We've whipped the front grill off, which you either have to undo all these little screws that you can see around here, these little screw holes, or I've got a quick release, so you just undo them. Some radiators right on the front here have a little drain plug. This is a newer one, so it doesn't. So you have to undo the bottom hose, which is a little clip under there. There's the bottom clip just under there. You need a really long screwdriver and then wiggle it around to pull the end off. Put yourself a bowl underneath, catch all the water in. Alright, removing the rocker cover. On my car I've got these quick release things, these little spin off nuts here. You might need, might have normal nuts, so you just have to remove them. Right, you can see from here I've just undone this little nut, disconnected the fuel line. I'm only going to need to disconnect the accelerator cable as well as the choke cable, and then we can undo the manifold nuts at the back, remove the hose and this plate, and remove the heater hose over here. We need to label up the spark plugs, then we can remove the HT leads from each of the spark plugs, label up the HT leads. Right, you need to undo the little screw here that holds the heater control in, and also the nut at the top here, so that you can withdraw the heater cable. And removing the vacuum pipe from the carburetor. This little pipe just runs to the top of the distributor down here. As you can see, we've labelled that with some just tape folded over the order with the HT lead order on, so that we can just pop these off, just moving them out of the way, and you can easily put them back in the same order. Your clip, retaining clip here, just moved it back out of the way, so it's out of the way here, and then you should just be able to, with a bit of effort, pull that off, the heater hose off. Alright, from what you can see here, I've just removed one of the breather hoses here to just make it a little bit easier to get access down the back here to the choke assembly, from which I've removed this little grub screw. You can see there. Just undone the little nut, and there's a little hole in it there, and you can slide out the cable for your choke. I've also done exactly the same with the accelerator here. Pop that out. Again, that attaches on the twins down to that nut that you can see there, so I just undone one of the nuts and then it should just slide straight out. So obviously with all that's disconnected, we can now remove the carburetors. Alright, I've removed the air filters. They're held on with two 1/2-inch bolts that I've taken out the back there. If you've got a single, it'll just be obviously one air filter. It just allows you easier access to these manifold nuts that you can see down here. These are 1/2-inch nuts. These have come on quite easily because I'd put new studs in previously. If you're going to do this job, it's worth buying a new stud kit, not only for the head but also for the exhaust manifold. They only cost a couple of quid. Your nuts are normally alright to reuse, and it just makes, as you can see there, look, it just undoes with my finger rather than hassling around with them trying to get them cleaned up. There's two that you can see here, one here and one here, and there's two that you can't see. They're actually holding the manifold on as well, the other half of the manifold. Again, they're 1/2-inch, and that's the reason we take the air cleaner off, so that we can get an extension bar in down the back here and undo them. We're just going to use a 1/2-inch socket on a long extension bar, so that we can slide it down the back like this. Trying to miss all these slipping springs. Like that, get it on and pop them off, and then the whole carburetor assembly should be able to come free. As you can see, now we've removed the nut, the entire carburetor assembly can just slide forward. You can take the whole lot out, and that leaves us the exhaust and the studs in place, which we're going to remove after we've supported the exhaust underneath, and then that way we can then undo the head bolts and hopefully remove this bracket and slide the head off. We're also going to just remove here the little wire that holds the it's for the thermostat, and we've also got to undo down the back here behind the head. There's a bypass hose that connects, a little rubber hose that connects the water pump here to the head. An old rim underneath the car here because it's just about the right height. That's going to support the exhaust when we undo it, so that it doesn't completely drop and get out of the way. It'll just move down a couple of centimetres, and because it's on rubber brackets, it should be fine. As I said, you don't have to use a rim, you can use anything you got lying around that's the right height. It just prop up underneath the exhaust. You can see I've removed the studs and the exhaust is still supported. I've left the housing, actually, thermostat housing on, just simply because it was an absolute nightmare to seal up last time.